Redford is on a Ford truck bench, and we are about to do Elephant Live. We do Facebook Live 5 times a week, and today we're going to talk about plastic, which most of us don't really seem to care about, but we do care about cancer, we do care about disease generally, we do care about our planet, we do care about birds, we care about whales. A couple whales just turned up dead with tummies full of plastic. So we're going to talk about where is this plastic, this PVC, and what can we do about it quite easily. So if any of you care about our environment, know anything about PVC, BPA, or other fun things, please help me with your knowledge. Leave a comment, say where you're from, say, you know, PVC, plastic, or BPA, or some such, where, one place where it is and how you are trying to get rid of it in your life. So I'll start off with a little list, all right? Here's one. So 99% of yoga mats, ironically, since yoga people talk about namaste and being sacred and being kind and love and light and peace and all that, 99% of yoga mats are toxic PVC. PVC, polyvinyl chloride, what's her name of, I'm forgetting her name, Umbra of grist.org, one of my favorite blogs, says no on vinyl, and that's final. So most of us are practicing yoga on PVC yoga mats, which is kind of crazy because PVC is super toxic in its conception. It's not good for us. It's got that kind of new car smell that is a nasty, nasty smell. That new car smell is not a good thing. Okay, Red. And Redford is not comfortable on the bench. And no comments. No one cares about our environment. It's such a boring subject. Just me and my little yoga mat obsession. So yoga mats are made out of PVC, no on vinyl, that's final. Umbra of Grist has that expression. I love it. And here's a great alternative. They are a sponsor. They're a sponsor. We only accept sponsors that are eco, that are responsible, that are doing good stuff. So if you want to learn a lot more about them, you can watch my video with them. They actually have that tagline, everything's backward. But if you are good at reading backwards, you can see that says nature's best yoga mat. So for every mat you buy, they plant a tree. They've planted well over 1 million trees, I think now, 1.5 million or something like that. And they are called Jade Yoga. That's why there's a tree there, because they plant a tree for everyone. But that's not all, folks. It's made in the US. You can see there's a big no PVC symbol, which is very rare. Let's see, made in the USA. And why is that important? For mats, it's particularly important. It's a lot more important than for other materials, because if you're making your mat overseas in China or something, you really don't have a way to verify necessarily that it's actually safe. So as a special today, the first 500 orders, if you order Jade, you'll get free shipping. So that's like a 10% savings on cost. And if you buy a whole bunch of mats or their cork blocks, cork is one of the most renewable possible things. Okay, so here's number 2. Number 1 was yoga mats. Number 2 is avoid plastic corks. Corks made out of cork are not from cork. I think most of them are from Spain, and there's cork forests where the animals can run around, farmers can make a sustainable living. You can shave the cork off these trees, and the trees keep, kind of like sheep or something, they keep growing the cork back. So it's a great thing. So buy a mat, plant a tree, that's Jade. First 500 folks will get a free shipping. And these mats are not made out of PVC, they're made out of natural rubber. Which is a renewable resource from rubber trees, and they contain no PVC. So pretty darn good stuff. And if you want to learn more about them, you can check out my in-depth interview with Dean, the founder of Jade, on youtube.com/Elephant Journal. And I just did that last week, and it was one of our most popular videos ever. So I guess people do care about our environment. So number two, boycott wine that has plastic corks. And if you're below the drinking age, boycott all wine, unless, it's hush hush for your big house party when your parents are gone. All right. Not to rag on yoga people, but anyone who's exercising, almost all of us wear plastic clothing. We don't think about it being plastic, but we are literally sweating. You don't want sweat, like heat and moisture and plastic, right directly on your skin. When you put something on your skin, your liver is not there to protect you. So if I swallow something a little bit toxic, my body can process it and expel most of the bad stuff. But when you put it on your skin, like plastic clothing, that goes directly, to some small extent, into you. But, these small extents pile up, and we have environmental causes being listed as one of the main sources for all these diseases. All right, so the point of this video is not to be negative or scary, but really to just say these are the ways that we have plastic or PVC or BPA, etc. in our daily life, and let's get rid of them. So here's number 4. I did a blog on this. I think we have an editor here. If you can search BPA cans. So I go to the Natural Products Expo, where every food company that is, say at Whole Foods or Safeway, they feature their products. And I, off the record, they wouldn't go on the record, but they were very brave even to go off the record. They said, look, we got rid of BPA in our cans. We're one of maybe 2 companies or something to do so. But there's still, off the record, there's still 17 other different plastics lining these cans, and every can out there, like cans of beans or cans of corn or cans of whatever, pasta. And these 17 other kind of liners of the cans could be even more toxic. They're less tested than BPA is. BPA could be one of the better ones. So every mom on earth, I think a couple years ago, learned, and every dad hopefully, that BPA is not good for our children's development, their brain development, their genitalia, all that kind of stuff. So if you care about brains and genitalia, you got to boycott BPA and various kinds of plastic in cans. So hopefully we can get that blog up. Off the record, ex-executive at a major natural products company says BPA is the least of your worries. People never read that blog, but I wish you would, because it's one of the most kind of real journalism blogs that I've ever put up, and it's an amazing, huge story. And it's from years ago, 3 years ago, it looks like. Yeah, good link from Melina. Thank you, Melina. Cordy mentions clothing. Yeah, so I picked that up. Kids' clothing, right, fleece pajamas, jackets, yoga clothes, all those yoga pants, they're almost all made out of plastic. So really try and source like organic cotton, organic linen, secondhand, natural fibers like wool or silk or cotton. And they have the added advantage of being, they've sort of off-gassed and they've been cleaned and softened a lot. All right. Anyone else want to help me? So here's one I'm obsessed with. Those nice to-go cups all of America gets every day, like at Starbucks and elsewhere, are lined with plastic, so you can't recycle them. Again, you're putting hot liquid into them and then drinking out of it. It's not good for you. And you can't recycle them, and they aren't compostable ever. Usually they're bleached too, which is also bad for our watershed and our environment. All right. So I really, suggest that you all get mason jars or glass jars and use those. Glass water bottles are the best. Stainless steel, like Clean Canteen, is pretty good. Alrighty. Heather has had a jade yoga mat. Yeah, super durable. That's great to hear. Ariana, cheers to you, only using glass water bottles. If anyone else has suggestions, all right. If not, I'm going to go into my lists. I made some lists before talking with you all because my memory is short. All right. So in Europe, they actually protect their citizens far better than we do in the U.S. It's one of the reasons I'm a critic of GMOs. There's nothing wrong with science, but good science would make sure that something is safe before, letting it out into the into the wild of the marketplace. So polyvinyl chloride, PVC, not good stuff. Yeah, it's a human carcinogen, meaning related to cancer. Basically, plastic is a hard thing. It's sort of like almost like a branch, a piece of wood. To make it a plastic bag or clothing, you have to put a lot of additional chemicals, toxic chemicals into it, so that you can wear it or use it for flexible purposes like bags or clothing. So you're basically just wearing a bunch of toxic chemicals. And that's no fun. All right, let's go through some PVC items in our everyday life. And remember, this is fun in the sense that, getting sick, having cancer, or a loved one is not fun. So we can look at this from a positive point of view that we want to get rid of this stuff. So cling wrap. Instead, you could use 100% recyclable aluminum foil, or there's an eco kind of cling wrap that's made out of cotton or something like that. Shower curtains, again, heat and water and our naked selves rubbing up against toxic PVC stuff. That's not good. I get hemp or very thin kind of cotton liners, and I just dry them out and use them. And it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but so is being sick and having cancer, right? So it seems a bit better. Tablecloths, often when they have that plastic stuff, and that plastic stuff we put over our weeds. I mean, we're literally covering our earth in plastic. It's heartbreaking. Credit cards. Some of them are getting better now. Let's see. Placemats, wall coverings, like wallpaper, wall decals, vinyl, the signs on stores. Fake Christmas trees, pretty toxic, and they have toxic dust as they get older. Strollers, car seats, toys. Many of us know about that because so many toys are made in China where it's a little less safe. Water beds, in case you're living in a swinging 70s house or 80s. Labels, stickers, photo album sheets, mattress covers, fake leather furniture. So vegans, I'm vegan, and a lot of us are always talking about, look at this cool leather alternative. It looks like leather, but it's not. Well, it's toxic vinyl almost every time. So that's no better. Best to just, kind of like with food, don't look for a leather or meat alternative. Just look for something really good on its own. Like, those old 4x4 Broncos or whatever have houndstooth wool. Super cool. Wool has some issues. We have an article, wool is cruel, but if the wool is well sourced or secondhand or used, you're pretty good. All right. Checkbook covers, cleaning product containers, pet care product containers, tarps. All this stuff used to be rubber or something. Modeling clay, you're breaking my heart. It's not clay. Apparel, we got bibs, aprons, we got shoes, we got boots, we got bags, we got luggage, we got rain gear, t-shirts, watch bands. As you can see, like once you start thinking about it, you see it everywhere. I remember I was just watching The Monuments Men, which was a film with Clooney and Matt Damon and some others running around trying to save art in Europe. And you look at the tents, you look at the tins, you look at the food, you look at the transportation, you look at the kitchens. You don't see plastic anywhere. So it is possible. And once companies start getting behind it, we drive the market. You could have a world without plastic. And the whales and the birds and people getting sick, everyone will thank us for getting rid of it in our lives. And remember, a lot of people say, oh, well, you can recycle it. Well, plastic really is not recyclable. It breaks down. It never goes away. Someone forgot their tea kettle. So you can't really make good plastic out of recycled plastic. You have to add more chemicals. You have to melt it. It's just toxic from beginning to end. All right, greenhouse and cold frames. These are so-called organic farms are covering their so-called organic produce in plastic. It's heartbreaking. Pond liners, inflatable furniture, greenhouses, garden hoses, and most of it gets thrown away. Those orange construction fences, and all right, children's swimming pools. This is crazy. Garden hoses. This list is making me sad. Okay, drinking straws. That's an easy one. We have straws on our Elephant Market you can get that are glass or stainless steel. Maybe you could put those in the links. Travis or whatever editor is on, whomever, if you can think of alternatives, eco alternatives to any of these from our market, put them in the comments, please. All right, cell phones, clipboards, computer keyboards, floppy disks, fencing, flooring, gutters, pipes, molding, shutters, siding, tiles, window frames. Yeah, I just went to go get new windows for my house. I actually haven't done it because almost every option has plastic all over it. Wire, cable, insulation. I just want some nice wood windows with great R value, you know? Is that so hard? It's 2016. We should be able to do anything. All right, so there's a good long list. I have a couple longer lists, but frankly, I'm going to start crying if I keep going. Because, you know, this is important stuff. If we can, like I have bulk bags that are made of cotton, just start thinking about it. Obviously, if you can't do anything about it, then don't stress about it, but do your best. Whenever you can replace something with a good alternative, that's a nice thing to do. You know, I have a computer here. It probably has some toxic components in it, but as far as I can tell with my work, I don't have an alternative to go back to 1985 and work with a typewriter. So, you know, don't guilt yourself if you can't figure out an alternative, but if you can, do. Alrighty, and that's the mindful life. Just find like a good alternative when you can. I'm going to go through your comments. If you have any comments or questions for me, let me know. There's tons of comments here. Contigo and Camelback make great bottles. They might be plastic though. Filtered ones, Bobble or Camelback. Ideas for half-gallon thermos. Half-gallon isn't that big. I think you can still use glass for that, right? Brooke, hello from Europe. Hello to you. Store receipts have BPA in them. Sandra, yeah, I just talked that over with a restaurant owner friend of mine, Hugo at the kitchen, and apparently many receipts are getting replaced now. But yeah, that slimy film on receipts, that's toxic. So, you know, all book covers, like I wrote a book and it's plastic free. That may not sound like a big deal, but all books are now plastic coated and they're kind of slimy and you get slime on them, on yourself. And that's not a good slime to then, you know, itch yourself with, right? So you can check out my book if you feel like it. It is eco. It feels like a real book. Recycled paper, relatively eco inks, and plastic free. And we can put a link to the book in the comments, please. Thank you. But store receipts, Sandra knows what she's talking about. Give me more. Steering wheels and steering wheel covers. That's crazy. Donald Luke Vermillion has a very cool name and cool ideas. Fake leather, yeah, it's vinyl. That ain't nice to the earth or to the planet or to us. Or ultimately to animals. Don't know about the filtered bottles. I don't know what filtered bottles are. Bottles that filter the water that you put into them. I mean, I think a lot of that is a racket, but like we have great water in Boulder overall. But if you are going to filter, I think there's probably ways to do it in a relatively eco way. Donald Luke Vermillion is back with toothbrushes. Yes, so many of them are plastic. I use a completely biodegradable wood one, but I also have some plastic ones that have found their way into my world. Flip-flops. So actually, Havaianas are rubber, I'm pretty sure, from Brazil. It's actually a pretty cool company. So I don't think all flip-flops are plastic. Check out Havaianas. I think they're pretty good. But they do fall apart all the time. I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now, which have some leather, but they're secondhand. They also have cork, which is a great material. And, you know, secondhand is a great way to go. Like Buffalo Exchange, one of my favorite companies, they're a secondhand shop, although they have some new crappy stuff. But most of what they have is beautiful, great, vintage-y stuff that has almost no effect on our planet negatively. Jill mentioning floppy disks. For those of you with your waterbeds living in 1985, get rid of those floppy disks and waterbeds. Squash balls, tennis balls. Oh my God, this is such an interesting list. Plastic razors. Well, I would probably just not use plastic razors. Get a better razor that you can New York Times just had a great article on a sort of razor alternative. Also, a friend of mine just told me that 90% of what dulls the razor is that it rusts. So if you actually if you take time to dry off the razor after you use it, it'll stay sharper longer. That it's not the hair on your legs or your face that's dulling the razor, it's the rust, it's the little beads of water. Sounds interesting. I have a, refillable razor thing, and I use those razors until they're pretty dull, so I don't go through much, but I could do better. The New York Times article talked about how you can just use the metal razors, the old-fashioned ones, and they're super inexpensive. But remember, if something is BPA free, that still means that there's tons of toxic plastics in it. It actually needs to be plastic free. BPA free is sort of like saying, it's sort of like Mussolini saying I'm not Hitler. It's not much better. Alrighty. That was an extreme example. My book is probably in the comments by now, Benjamin, if you take a look at the book. It's about love from a Buddhist perspective, a kind of independent Buddhist perspective. Oh, maybe we don't have an editor on. Oh, no, there it is. It's right above your thing. The link is elephantjournal.com/books. Any glass filtered in fridge systems like the Pure systems. I can't help you. Yeah, the straight razors, but you can also have the straight razors kind of protected. Carpet made from recycled milk cartons. Well, there's an amazing rug company called Floor, and they're owned by a larger rug company. They became super eco thanks to this guy who I should have interviewed. I could have, but I failed to, and then he passed away. But if anyone knows, yeah, BPA free is BS too. Well, that sounds like about it. If you want to get a yoga mat, get Jade. They're eco. They plant trees. They're made in the US, so they actually know what's going into them. They're PVC free. They're rubber, and there might be a little other stuff in it. We discussed that in the video. Did that video make it into the comments? That would be awesome. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful... Is that actually Monday? I'm scared of having this long week. I feel very Friday. I feel very tired. All right. Yeah, so first 500 orders with Jade, you'll get free shipping. You'll save a bit of money. That's thanks to Elephant working some backroom deals with the yoga powers that be at Jade. All right, let's meditate for a second so that we're ready for this crazy long week ahead of us. Take a deep breath. We'll just meditate for 3 or 4 minutes. No more fun. It's now meditation time. So take a very good posture and then relax naturally. Find your breath in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We like to meditate for a few minutes every day when we do these videos. They're actually one of the most popular part of the videos, which surprises me. I think people would get bored and leave. Because this is the moment when we can stop blabbing and actually work on coming back to our present moment and enjoying our lives and being a benefit. So breathe in. If you find yourself thinking, distracted, just label it thinking. Just notice I'm thinking. Return your attention to your breath gently. If you find yourself, your body naturally relaxing and expanding, almost like in yoga class, then you're on the right track. Just breathe in. Breathe out. If you find yourself thinking, label that thinking. Return your attention to the breath. Once you find yourself present with your breath in and out, dedicate the merit of your day and your week to come, of your every action, to each other, to one another, to all you elephant readers out there. We're at about 10 million readers a month. That's a lot of you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You can find all the videos on youtube.com/elephantjournal or on elephantjournal.com's homepage. We have the Walk the Talk Show section. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Let's get rid of plastic, PVC, BPA, and its ugly friends, its nasty, mean friends. Get rid of it in your daily life and be healthy, and take care of your children, your environment. And if you're inspired, share this. If not, there's far better content on Elephant Journal that doesn't involve me. elephantjournal.com/best. Thank you so much. And if you did want to get a jade mat, first 500 orders do have free shipping, and you can get a block or a strap or whatever you want. Alrighty. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for thanking. Hopefully that was helpful. There's a few more comments from folks, but I think we'll wrap it up. All right. Mwah. And to Jess,